Hi, I'm Brenda Weatherby and welcome to my kitchen. We are making some steak sauces today. We eat a lot of steak for dinner. It's my family's favorite, but they always want to know what sauce I have to go with it. So I'm going to show you 3 different sauces today. 2 of them are so easy, it's like a blink of an eye. The other one's a tiny bit more involved, so we'll walk through that one a little bit more. But I do this so that you have a good variety of something extra to put on an already beautiful steak. Tonight we are eating moose steak. This is a sirloin tip. And I got this moose last year. My husband and I went on a trip up to Alaska and had just the time of our lives. So eating this moose is just a highlight for us today. All right, so we're gonna get started with the easiest sauce. This is really like dump 3 ingredients in and put it on the stove. That's it. So this is a mustard Parmesan. We're gonna do it right here. So literally a tablespoon of mustard, a little or less, depending on what you're liking of mustard, some cream, and some freshly grated Parmesan. That's it. Like literally we'll put that on the stove in like a second. Now, my second go-to sauce. This is so good, especially kids love this sauce because it has a blueberry jam in it, so it's awesome. So really the only ingredients are soy sauce. So we dump that in. I have over here some blueberry jam. It doesn't matter, any type of blueberry jam. Probably the more sophisticated the jam, the better, but it doesn't matter to me. Honey and some, you have to have fresh sage. That's the only hard part about this sauce, but it really makes a big difference. So put that sage in there, chop that up. So literally that's your only 4 ingredients and a little bit of cayenne pepper to your liking. So I'm just gonna put a tiny bit. So literally those 2 are done. We're gonna go take these over to the stove so that they can simmer, and then we'll work on the 3rd sauce. Okay, and now this one is one of my favorites. It's a new one that I haven't been cooking for very long, but I love it. It's a walnut gorgonzola sauce with white wine. You deglaze it with white wine. And so it is super easy. It has a few steps, but it's not hard. So first of all, you're just gonna take like 2 tablespoons of butter, and we're going to melt that. And then we're going to add the scallions or leeks. I actually like the leeks better, so that's why I've kind of substituted. I've tried a number of different ways, but the white part of the leeks, so just kind of put those in there, and then the walnuts. So I crush those up a little bit, not too much, but just a little bit. So that's kind of your first step. The butter, the leeks or scallions, the walnuts, and then just a tiny bit of garlic. And we will go put this on the stove, and then we'll dump the rest in just a few minutes. Okay, so we have our leeks and walnuts and that garlic all sauteed here. And so before we do anything, we're gonna deglaze that with just a little bit of white wine. So let's just do that real quick. And now we're gonna just throw our steak on real quick. So let's do that. Okay, so that's deglazed. Now we're going to add our vegetable stock real quick. So we'll add that in. Just for a few minutes to get that warm. This looks perfect. Okay. Now we're gonna add the gorgonzola, let that melt up. Takes a little while just for it to melt and get to that consistency. So let that sit. Once your cheese crumbles have all melted, then you're just gonna add the cream and kind of let it simmer when your steak is finished cooking. So, as you can see, all three of them, two very easy. The third one, not bad. You're gonna have three different sauces to choose from. Okay, let's flip the steak. What I tell people when they say, well, what sauce is your favorite? I kind of say, well, it depends on how much time you have and your audience. So the blueberry soy sauce is very rich. And so if you have someone who you think doesn't think they like wild game, then do it with the blueberry soy sauce. Also the gorgonzola sauce, this is a very rich sauce as well. So this is perfect to do with someone who might not think they like wild game. They will love wild game with either of these two sauces. And then the Parmesan mustard is just very simple sauce, so a lot of people like that. You might be able to taste more of the wild flavors with that mustard Parmesan just because of the simplicity of the sauce. So, okay, we are almost there, depending on how rare we like this steak. Let's give it just maybe 45 more seconds. Okay, so now we're gonna add that cream as that last step to this walnut gorgonzola sauce. Perfect's gonna make a great consistency. Super great. That's it. We'll turn that off. And we got our blueberry one off and our Parmesan. So let's get our steak off and bring that back over to the counter. It's time to do the sauces. All right, so let's just cut into this meat. I like to do a nice small thin steak. Okay. Okay, here's our gorgonzola. We'll just put that on top. A little bit of the mustard, Parmesan. And last but not least, the blueberry soy sauce. Alrighty, there you go. Moose steak with your choice of mustard Parmesan, blueberry soy, or walnut gorgonzola. Thanks for joining me. I'm Brenda Weatherby. I'll see you next time when we enjoy more wild flavors.